I haven't made.
My next claim is that Shaq didn't carry Kobe. He needed Kobe.
Okay. This is going to be fun. Because this is interesting, and I wonder if anyone's going to bring up what I feel like is the most important factor in this. He did need Kobe, and the reason he needed Kobe was because in the fourth quarter, when Hack-a-Shaq would start, Shaq became detrimental to his team. I watched it over and over and over again. That's when Kobe came in. So Shaq is a guy who always needs a closer. That's why he gelled well with Dwayne Wade as well. You need somebody who's going to take over in the fourth quarter while Shaq is sitting on the bench, either in foul trouble or he's sitting on the bench because they don't want to have him on the free throw line from the Hack-a-Shaq strategy. So you needed a Kobe Bryant or a Dwayne Wade.
Oh, there's a fight. There's a fight for the chair.
Would you say that the best player on pretty much every championship team in the history time needed a second good player, right? So
yes.
You could say they needed Jordan Farmar in the 2010. Like
I fundamentally reject.
Someone, right?
I fundamentally reject the premise that.
Well, let's just go the year 2000, right? How many champions? They won 3 championships together.
3 championships. 2000,
so you probably know the number
2002.
down to the decimal. What did Kobe average in that 2000 finals? I think it was 15.6, and he shot 36% from the field.
Do you want some context on that or what?
The guy had context, dude.
Hold on. He rolled his ankle in the first quarter of one of those games and averaged 0. He had 0 points for that game that went into his statistical average. Okay, and then he was.
So he was still. And what did Shaq average? Tell me what Shaq averaged. Tell me what Shaq averaged.
Physically compromised. Hold on. Let's talk about Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, where they went to the NBA Finals. That they were down 13 in Game 7 at home. They wouldn't have even been in the finals if not for Game 7. Can you tell me what happened in Game 7 against the Portland Trailblazers?
Shaq fouled out.
Conference Finals.
Kobe went crazy.
Kobe Bryant, can you tell me what happened?
No, I can't. Are you going to give me the stats? Kobe had 18 points on 7 of 8 shooting and 2 for 3.
I can tell you that Kobe Bryant led the Lakers in points, assists, rebounds, and blocks in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals.
And then you're going to go and belittle
to get them to the finals. Because yes, bro, you got me. Shaq was better than Rick Smits and was destroying Rick Smits in the finals. You got me. But they wouldn't have been in the finals without Kobe being the best. So they would not have been in the NBA finals.
You guys want to know why this one will never end? The Kobe versus Shaq, who was more important debate, it'll never, ever end. Because you want to know what the most obvious truth is behind this all? They were both equally valuable. Neither of them carried the other person. They both did it. 1-2 punch. But nobody likes that. Everyone wants to think there's one guy in that situation. Shaq was first through third quarter. Kobe was fourth quarter. You needed both of them in order to succeed, and they both did their job to a T until they didn't anymore. But while they did, championship, championship, championship. That's the real truth the way I see it. But people are going to debate this for the next 10 years. Who was more important, Shaq or Kobe? The answer is yes.
Pretty much every championship team.
Playoffs.
So you just listed one game. Pretty much every team. Again, you could say
they
wouldn't be there if it wasn't. But now you're talking about points, rebounds, and blocks, and then you're going to discredit. So okay, over the runs, who had more points, rebounds, and blocks over the 3 runs? Over the 3 years. Answer the question.
Shaq.
Then how are you using that?
Shaq averaged about 1.5 points more in their 4 finals runs.
So now bring up the fourth quarters, man. Bring up the fourth quarters, bro. It's the only way through this one.
The specifics
of it?
1.5 points. Okay, so he averaged more. More is more.
But who was the closer? Who was the ball handler? Who was the
undefeated in hypothetical scenarios? And who had the better Mamba mentality? Who woke up earlier that day? That's what we talk about when we're talking about Kobe.
Who was the best player in the Showtime Lakers era?
Magic, or they had 2 of the best players of all time. So
Right. So this is my premise.
The claim is who was better on the 80s?
No, this is my claim.
Can we stick to basic?
Kobe,
who had a higher VOR?
Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal were co-best players.
Okay, Shaq in a literal sense was better.
But he wasn't. That's
see how this will never end? The truth is, Shaq needed Kobe. Kobe needed Shaq. At that time. That's how it was.
He was. So the first finals, you're talking
about the first finals. Let's talk all 3. Let's talk about 2001.
Well, I believe 2000 was one of them.
2001 and 2002. Okay, let's talk about.
So then they were they were great running mates. That's why you ever heard this expression like Shaq and Kobe? Well, first of all, which one comes first? But Like, that's an They were two great players.
No one's denying. Talk about 2000, then I'll talk about 2001.
I already spoke about it. No one's denying the greatness of Kobe. He was a great running mate. He was probably the best second option other than Scottie Pippen in their runs.
No, he was a co-best player.
Not other than Scottie Pippen, but that's fine. Because I can say the same thing about the Bulls. People say, "Oh, Jordan needed Pippen." Well, Pippen needed Jordan as well. So, what the fuck?
Scottie Pippen.
So now you're saying he's a co-best. What's the claim?
Shaq did not carry Kobe. Shaq needed Kobe.
Okay, so we needed him. But so they're who was better? Who was better?
I'd say Kobe Bryant was more valuable.
Then why isn't that your claim? Because clearly you don't believe that. You have some very strong beliefs. If you thought Kobe was better, you would say Kobe was better. But Shaq needed Kobe.
Well, I would say they're co-best players on that run. Like
there
Durant
you go. There you go, Skap. Now I'm with you 100% on this. They were co-best players on that. That's not like what was going on in Chicago. That was a clear Jordan's the number one, Pippen's the number two. In this scenario with the Lakers, Kobe and Shaq were up there at the top together, and they both needed to be there in order to win.
Curry were in the Golden State.
Wait, say that again?
They're co-best players on that run, like Durant and Curry were in the Golden State runs.
I kind of agree with that too. They both were.
That's the dynamic that Shaq and Kobe had in my estimation. You and other people try to paint Kobe Bryant in revisionism that he was like a Pippen to Shaq's Jordan. Not the case. It wasn't Batman Robin. It was Batman and Superman. Kobe and Shaq were Batman and Superman.
Let's not get into revisionist history with Kobe because the narrative has very much changed since he unfortunately passed away. But that day in January of 2020,
he's made lesser. Now, he's made lesser today.
That's factually incorrect because he used to come up in like the 9 to 12 range when you're talking about the greatest of all time, where he literally is. Ever since that very unfortunate day, people talk about him in a different light.
Everybody was talking about Kobe as a top 3 player when he was playing in the NBA. Peers and guys that he was playing. Yes. Kevin Durant has Kobe Bryant as the second greatest player ever.
Okay.
Can we not do stats? Can we not do semantics?
Well, but what are you talking about? Your feeling?
No, not
your
my
eye
feeling.
test?
No, not my feeling.
How do we gauge that?
We got smart. Let's work together, right? You say Shaq needed Kobe, right?
100%.
Everybody need a great teammate. Great.
Shaquille O'Neal
let me get my point. Let me get my point.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Whatever you want. Look, let me talk to the camera because he's not gonna listen to me. So what I'm saying, who won 3 Finals MVP?
Okay,
Shaq.
but who was the best player in the Western Conference Finals?
If you go look at those final stats, you will see Shaq's stat. If you go look at the final stat, you will see Shaq 35, 16, and 3 blocks. You will see 38, 16, and 5 blocks. You will see 37, 15, and 3 blocks. What I'm just saying, yes, but I have to do semantics too.
Say that?
You're right, but I have to do semantics. It's a mind game. Play with me. Okay, pause. So what I'm saying, right? So what I'm saying, right? Yeah, Shaq needed Kobe, but Shaq was the most valuable player on that team without a question.
In the against the Eastern Conference teams.
It doesn't even matter.
It does matter.
So what about those?
Why nobody can admit? They can't just finish the sentence. Shaq needed Kobe. Kobe needed Shaq. Just say it. Just say it. Free yourselves.
Undeniably substantially better than the Eastern Conference during that span of time. So the stuff that came out of the East, yes, they had weak teams, weak players underneath. Shaq controlled those series, but look at the strength in the league. The Sacramento Kings, the San Antonio Spurs, to get out of the Western Conference against way better teams. Kobe Bryant was the guy.
Okay, didn't you say earlier that Kobe closed the game?
Yes.
So what? Okay, hold on. Let me land.
He did more than that in the West.
No, that's fine. So what happened in the first, second, and third quarter?
Kobe in the West against the West.
No, you said Kobe closed out the game. What did Shaq do in the first, second, and third?
Well, they were scoring about the same.
What is?
They scored. There's a point per difference.
I'll step in. From my perspective, Shaq was the main option. He was the number one option in the first 3 quarters. Kobe was the number one option in the fourth quarter. You need them both. At the end of the day, their stats, their scoring were pretty much identical. Not in 01, but in 02, 03. Yeah, that's really it. That's how I see it. That's the truth. You can't win a game if you don't close out the fourth quarter. Look at LeBron James. That's the reason why he fails so often, unless he has somebody like a D Wade or a Kyrie on his team to close out the freaking game for him. Okay? Same situation with Shaq. He needed somebody like that in order to win a damn game. But the thing is, with Kobe Bryant, he wasn't just sitting there for 3 quarters doing nothing, and then he just stepped up in the fourth. No. He was contributing all 4 quarters, but the 4th quarter is when he just took it. He took the torch and he said, I'll bring us home. You can't devalue either of them in my mind.
In the 4 finals runs through all the playoff games, about 90 games, Shaq scored
We're talking about Batman and Robin.
Batman and Superman.
Robin.
Batman and Superman.
Kobe was never a Superman.
Shaq was Superman. Kobe was Batman. Get it right.
No, I'd say Shaq was Superman.
That's why I love Skap. Skap, my boy.
No, Kobe's not even Batman.
Yeah,
Kobe is Robin.
How is he Robin? How is he Robin? Oh man, did you not see the 2 championships he won without Shaq? How is he Robin? Who was Batman then? Was it Lamar Odom? Was it Pau Gasol?
No, he's not.
Can I touch on something that I talked about before? So when Kobe became a starter at the age of 20, besides Shaquille O'Neal, they played in 6 years. I'm gonna retouch on this. Shaq was 67 and 33.
Great.
Okay, and won 3 titles. In the other 13 years that Shaq was in the NBA, he was only 62 and 54, won 1 championship, and that was why. Hold on. Other than Kobe, in those 13 years, he played with 7 other top 75 players that included LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Steve Nash, Kevin Garnett. I'm just saying, who did Kobe Bryant have outside of Shaquille
Steve Nash
O'Neal?
was not washed. He still had like 2 years left at his peak.
Wait, for his 12 years.
And Penny Hardaway was obviously at full power.
Left. Pau Gasol, that's it? And he played with the only top 75 player Kobe Bryant played with outside of Shaquille O'Neal in 12 years was Steve Nash for 50 games, and Nash was 38 years old.
I don't even know why
and Kobe still won more.
I don't even know why you brought up Nash. They were completely washed at the time. When Kobe played with Shaq,
they were co-best players.
Shaq was Kobe's daddy. There was no issue.
What is with him with daddies? Like, what the fuck? This freaking video, this is great. Yeah, I'm beer number 3, about halfway through, you guys. Rut-row, I'm feeling great.
You do have daddy issues.
It's okay.
You said before, LeBron's everybody's daddy.
Daddy.
Who's your daddy and what does he do? Yeah.
No, I don't have daddy issues. I don't have daddy issues. Do you have daddy issues?
No, I'm not saying daddy all the time like you.
So obviously Kobe didn't get along with his father.
Daddy?
Kobe didn't get along with his father. So Shaq was the daddy. I'm sorry.
No team wins with 1 All-Star. Shaq needed Kobe. Kobe needed Shaq. But in that time, and I'm talking their years from when they won their first title, in the entire, not just the West, the entire league,
first title,
teams around besides the Lakers, they were building themselves to stop Shaq. And in that sense, they weren't building themselves to stop Kobe. Kobe was able to take advantage of that. Obviously, Kobe's a great player, but these teams were getting like 3 starting caliber centers. The Pacers needed Antonio Davis.
It was easier for Kobe then,
Antonio Davis, Dale Davis. The Sixers, Dikembe Mutombo, Matt Geiger, whoever their other guy was.
Yeah.
The one time, again, Kobe lit it up with those in that strategy. The one game plan.
Because why? Because it was easier because they were focused on Shaq.
They were focused on Shaq. They weren't building themselves.
Finish your point. Yeah, finish your point.
The Detroit Pistons.
Okay, wait.
Let's go to 04.
I'll clarify. Shaq was the guy getting double teamed at that point. In those couple of years, Shaq was the guy drawing the double team.
Chauncey Billups has stated this. We knew we were never going to stop Shaq. Our game plan was simple. For the first time, we're gonna guard Shaq one-on-one. We're gonna let Ben Wallace do that, and then Kobe's gonna get frustrated because we're gonna keep going to Shaq. And Kobe in that series choked because he wasn't getting his touches and therefore was forcing the game.
I never heard that quote from Chauncey.
You're referencing the 2004 Detroit Pistons, who are, in fact, the #1 rated net defense in the last.
Yep. I hope there's nothing but respect for that Detroit Pistons team, because man, do they deserve it.
You're referencing one of the greatest defensive teams of all time.
But I'm talking about their game plan. I'm talking about the approach.
All right. Let's talk about 2001, which I believe is one of the greatest teams of all time. We're going to talk about that team later on. In 46 games that Kobe played without Shaquille O'Neal, 46 games he played an entire game without Shaq from 2000 to 2004. In those games, Kobe Bryant averaged 30 points per game, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, all better than when he was playing with Shaquille O'Neal. But let's look at 2001, one of the greatest teams of all time. With Shaq on the floor per 100 possessions, which there are about 100 possessions played in today's NBA. So that's how much harder. I'm normalizing the pace from today's NBA back to 2001. Kobe Bryant averaged 33 points per game on 55% true shooting percentage with Shaq on the floor per 100 possessions. Now that tracks every second that Kobe played with Shaq during that year. With Shaq off the floor during that year, for every second average out per 100 possession rate, Kobe Bryant averaged 44 points per game that year, jumped from 33 to 44 without Shaq, and that was wild. His true shooting percentage only dipped 1 percentage point. 54, still higher than league average.
Oh, wow.
That is what Kobe was doing without Shaq. So to say that he had his way because they were dialed in on Shaq is just outright and unequivocally false.
But it's not, and I'm not saying Kobe's a bad player. I'm just saying this, in certain situations, the Nets, when they were trying to go back to the finals, they were trying to get Alonzo Mourning because they were gearing up for Shaq. No team is going to trade for Ron Artest to shut down Kobe at that time. They both needed each other. That's a fact. All I'm saying is
they were co-best players.
In that time period, they were gearing up for Shaq, not Kobe. Kobe was having his will against the Sixers. He was getting guarded by Eric Snow. They weren't going to get Kobe stoppers. They were going to get Shaq stoppers, and that's where I'm walking off.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that last question, I think it would have had it would have been a little different if it was titled Shaq needed Kobe, Kobe needed Shaq, and then see if anybody would debate that Kobe wasn't that important. You know, that like Shaq could have done it without Kobe because he was that insignificant or something like that. I think that could have been interesting, but the way it was worded was that Shaq needed Kobe. I think that's what spurred it, but honestly, it's probably what made it interesting. Guys, let me bottom line that one. In my opinion, everybody benefits on a team if someone is getting a double team trap every time they catch the ball. That was Shaquille O'Neal. That was Michael Jordan. You know, we've seen these players, and that also became Kobe Bryant. When Shaq was not in the picture, every time Kobe caught the ball, they were trapping his ass and double team, triple team, whatever you got to do to stop him. And that's the point where Kobe made his teammates better. But in that early three-peat, Shaq was in that role. He was getting double teams. And did Kobe benefit off of that a little bit? Absolutely. So did everybody else. That's just the way it works. Once again, I'm going to try to be the voice of reason in all this as a true basketball fan, and I'm not going to shit on any of these greats unless I feel like it's appropriate and it's honest and it's true. But I'm not going to do it for some narrative to pop up like, oh, I got to prove Michael Jordan's the greatest, so I got to shit on all these other guys. I don't want to do that. So I defend Shaquille O'Neal. I defend Kobe Bryant in this scenario. They were both without the other was not going to get the damn job done. And I'm sorry, I got to throw in Phil Jackson too, because without Phil, these two would never get along. Like, there's no way they could have actually worked together. So there's a lot of moving pieces, and it's just funny to me that nowadays we just want to pretend like it's just one person who got the job done. I'm the biggest Jordan fan in the world, and I'll be the first to admit Jordan needed his role players, and he needed a co-star. And he needed a coach that was willing to say, hey, this is the only way we can take these role players and make them effective. We got to implement a triangle where the ball is moving around all over the place so everyone is getting touches. Even if that means you're going to score 7 points less a game, MJ, that's what it's going to take. But MJ needed these pieces in place. He needed some role players willing to do their job, and he needed a running mate like Scottie Pippen, who is willing to just do the things, whatever it is that game that Jordan can't focus on, whether that's defensively or ball movement or whatever the case may be in those individual matchups. That was Scottie Pippen's job. Fill the gap, you know? So anyway, sorry, rant. I officially in 2025, I'm getting to that point where like debate culture is starting to drive me a little nuts. As I'm tired of shitting on all these greats. Eventually, this is how we've gotten stuck with just like, you only hear about LeBron James or Michael Jordan. You don't hear about any other players. It's because of this stuff, where eventually everybody else has been shat on so much that if you listen to all this, you go, oh, they all sucked. Shaq sucked. Pau Gasol sucked. Derek Fisher sucked. Scottie Pippen sucked. You know, like, it's like, yo, they're actually good. They were important, good key aspects to this team. God damn, I'm getting drunk. All right, let's go. I'm so sorry. Let's go. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Y'all asked me to do this. I'm doing this in the best possible way I can, and I figured having a couple of beers was the best possible way to do this one, because it's frustrating because I'm commenting on it, but I'm not involved in this. I'm not there. I can't actually I can't say these things. I'm just saying it to you guys, you know.
Let's keep it going. The 2001 Lakers are the greatest team in NBA history.
Oh shit!
2001, they was nice. Would it be Shaq? Would it be Kobe? Tyronn Lue?
You just listed Tyronn Lue as one of their good players.
He's all right. I mean, I'm making you look kind of bad because without Shaq, without Kobe, without other players, I mean, what do the Lakers really have? Rick Fox was nice, but was he always wet? Nah, not really. And who did they go against? 2001 76ers, Allen Iverson. They stole game 1, and Kobe was in the locker room. That little mother.
Are you saying that the Sixers weren't good then?
Okay.
No, I'm not.
Real quick, 96 Bulls would probably take him. Why? Dennis Rodman dude, he was Shaq's worst freaking nightmare. So you take Shaq out, replace him with a Dennis Rodman, and go, okay, cancel those guys out. Jordan and Kobe. At that point, 2001, Jordan wins this battle all day, every day. Then you got Scottie Pippen. Then you got Tony Kukoc. I got the Bulls on this one. That would be my argument. It wouldn't be anybody else. It wouldn't be like the big 3 Miami team because, you know, LeBron. I wouldn't pick any LeBron team because he's going to choke. The only other competition would be like the 86 Celtics, something like that.
Are you diminishing the Sixers?
What I'm saying is...
Can I tell you something about the Sixers that year, please?
Yeah.
Because you clearly don't know.
But I do. But
go on then. Tell me about their accolades that year.
I mean,
tell me what they did.
Okay. You had the 6th man that year.
6th man of the year that year, correct?
Snow.
Aaron
McKee.
Keep going.
You had Snow. You had the head coach of the year.
Head coach of the year as well. Larry Brown, coach of the year that year.
You had the Dikembe Mutombo.
Who was what that year?
Defensive
player of the year that year.
I see what you're trying to do.
And Allen Iverson, who was the league MVP that year.
He was.
And they won 56 games, which was tied for the Lakers as the second highest win total that season. And you're talking about the Sixers that year were some scrub team. Are you kidding me?
I didn't say they was a scrub team. I'm saying they was good, but if we're being honest, was they only just good in the East? Yes.
I'm glad you brought that up. What did they do in the West? Can we go over what the Lakers did in the West that year?
Yeah, the Lakers did a lot, but wasn't that the same season that old boy was throwing some money on the Sacramento Kings game? No,
that was the following. That was 2002.
That was 2002. Either or. I mean,
come on, get your numbers.
Hold on. That Lakers team. I mean, they were playing pretty good, but who did they really play against? They played a good team, but it was a led team.
I can tell you who they played. Since you can't tell us, let me tell us who they played. They had the second hardest run in NBA history based on SRS. That's simple
you keep
rating
talking about
system.
Numbers. Who is SRS?
Hold on.
What are these? Who is SRS? I can love this. Who that guy?
That is simple rating system. It tracks not only how many games his opponents won, but how they won those games against the quality of opponents that they faced. So it was the second most difficult run ever in league history based on SRS, behind only the 95 Houston Rockets. However, that 2001 Lakers team against that difficult field of all 50-plus win opponents, the Lakers produced the second highest margin of victory per game throughout that postseason. So wait a second. The team that faced the second hardest run ever beat that field by the second highest number ever?
Didn't Kobe say, we are lucky that Allen Iverson is not at least, 6-something?
Yeah,
that is my
argument.
argument.
Iverson was 6'6", that would have been a harder series.
I mean, Kobe said it.
You want a hypothetical? That's a hypothetical, bro. He was not 6'6". That was just complimenting him. Like, that's all Kobe was doing, was complimenting the guy. Oh, man.
He said it. So that's proving my point.
I'm sorry, KJ, I cannot speculate on what would happen if Allen Iverson was 6'6".
Kobe said it. Kobe said it. Kobe said we're lucky and guys not taller.
They are.
Can I give you two teams that I would put out?
Let me break down that thing. Okay. The Lakers' road to the finals, historic in 2001. Amazing road to... Once again, I'm starting to feel like I'm one of the only like middle ground people, like middle focus people in this world. But like, I can see the truth on both sides, and also see that both sides are full of shit sometimes. 0-1, the Lakers had an incredibly tough road to the finals, yet they annihilated everybody. That's proving how great of a team they are. Now, I would never argue that the Philadelphia 76ers was a good matchup for them. It wasn't. The fact that AI was able to will his team in order to win one of those games in the finals amazes me to this day. And I consider that like the coolest thing that AI did. Like, I can't believe he pulled that off. Like, it should have been an absolute massacre in my mind. I mean, Shaq versus the Kevin Mutombo, you guys. I'm a huge Mutombo fan, but this is just not fair. This is not fair at all. So, yeah, I can agree with both sides on this one. Yes, the Lakers had a historic run to get to those finals, but the NBA Finals was, you know, it just didn't hit. It didn't hit right because it was so lopsided. But if the argument is the 0-1 Lakers are the greatest team in NBA history, I'd say top 3.
That rival that. Right. So, I mean, I think the obvious one is the 72-10 Chicago Bulls. I think the fact they have the all-time win record, know, winning that championship that year, best player or second best player of all time, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen again. I would argue, arguably the most underrated player of all time. There's that one. Another underrated team I'm going to give you, though, and, you know, I don't have the, I'll be honest with you, I don't have the advanced metrics to back it up, but from watching that team, the 2014 San Antonio Spurs, the depth that team held, the ball movement, the way the system they played in with Greg Popovich, the aging stars they had, the ability for them to turn back the clock, those three in Ginobili, Tony Parker, and Tim Duncan, and guys like Patty Mills, Boris Diaw playing, I mean, well above, I think, with their talent level, but within that system, watching that team, the dominance they went on, I would put those two teams as rivals to that 0-1 Lakers team, despite how great that team was.
Yeah, and the reason, look, you brought up a great full team in San Antonio, and there are no doubt better complete 1 through 10 teams, like a myriad of them throughout the history of NBA. But the reason why I think so highly of the 2001 Lakers, first of all, is because of the accomplishments that I just read off. Is the fact that they did play such an extremely difficult path to get the championship, they obliterated the field. Yeah. They went 15-1 against that field and produced the second highest margin of differential against the second hardest run ever. And they ended the year that year in the regular season on an 8-0 run. So they really were 23-1 in their last 24 games that year. The only loss was to that 76ers team in overtime. That was the sole blemish. But in addition to the tangible accomplishments that I just produced, it's the only time in NBA history, in my opinion, that the two best players in the world in their prime were on the same team doing their thing, which was Shaq and Kobe. That's why they were so unstoppable. In that postseason, average nightly scoring in the playoffs that year, 93 points per game. So think about that, 93 points per game. Now listen to what Shaq and Kobe did in that postseason.
Real quick, while I open up my fourth and final beer here. Do you think that was Kobe's prime? Because that part I disagree with I almost called him Shaq, with Skap. I don't think that was anywhere near Kobe Bryant's prime. Was it Shaq's prime? I guess so, yeah. I prefer the Orlando Magic Shaq, but if you want to look at the numbers and the dominance, it was a 1.
Season for 16 games. 30 and 15 for Shaq per game.
Hold up, let me back this up for you guys. I'll back it up 5 seconds.
30 and 15 for Shaq per game.
I know what the averages were.
7 and 6 for Kobe on average. Yep. Those two guys were laying that down against that defensive field that they were playing, and they did that again in that era, 93 points per game. Like, we've never seen two dominant, and they just, the front court and the back court, like, they complemented each other perfectly. That's why I just don't think any team is beating them 4 times out of 7.
And I want to correct myself about the Chicago Bulls. It was the win record at the time. Obviously, the Warriors ended up completing that. They would have been the greatest team of all time, in my opinion, if they didn't choke to the greatest player of all time, LeBron James. But that's besides the point. Michael,
by the way,
that
coming up, I'm surprised Skap so far, because I haven't looked ahead. I don't know what's coming. I've done this as blindly as possible. There is no mention about LeBron James yet, like in any of these topics. I wonder if he's saving it for last.
Again, I mentioned that Spurs team because, to me, I think they're one of the forgotten championship teams. And
I agree.
We mentioned. I'll finish off with this. The Chicago Bulls team, to me, when you have the best record coupled with that championship. I just think that combination of the two of them, despite everything that you mentioned, because you're not wrong in what you're saying, that Chicago Bulls team to complete that three-peat, the ability again to win 72 games and win that title coupled all together, to me, that just can't be rivaled. But listen, good point.
Who would Shaq guard if they played the Golden State Warriors with KD, Steph Curry, and the death lineup?
Who would guard Shaq?
I'm asking you a question.
I love it, Skap. Who would guard Shaq?
Well, their center technically was Draymond Green. There's an evolution of the game. Draymond Green played the majority of their minutes at big.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's 6'6", 230 pounds,
If you don't guard Draymond, he's going to initiate all the offense. Everything's going to go crazy. Steph Curry's going to be having gravity. You give it to KD, he's an instant bucket.
Draymond can't guard Shaq. That's the point. Shaq is going to kill him all day. 1 year of that, and immediately Golden State is going to look for a giant big man in order to contest against Shaq the following year, because Shaq is going to eat all day.
A better scorer than Kobe Bryant?
Not even.
Curry's going to be having gravity. You give it to KD, he's an instant bucket. A better scorer than Kobe Bryant?
Not even close. But who's going to guard? You asked me who's going to guard, who's Shaq going to guard. Who's going to guard Shaq? Draymond then will guard Shaq at the other end. Draymond Green, hold on.
You're good at stats. Wait, give me one thing. You're good at stats, right?
Yeah.
What's worth more, 3 or 2?
Who's going to shoot a higher percentage, a dunk or a three-point shot?
With Steph and KD? They're very efficient.
Three-point shooting is about what, 30?
Give Shaq 90% field goal percentage if Draymond is guarding him. And the Golden State Warriors, what? Lucky if you can get to like 38, 39% on your three-point shots. I'm going with Shaq on this one.
35%.
Two of the greatest three-point shooters ever.
37%. 37%. What's Shaq shooting at the basket with Draymond Green?
Another thing.
80%.
You just talked
90%?
about how Kobe had a terrible supporting cast. Who's their third best player? You named Draymond Green.
There were some good defenders, though, on that team. They're good
can I
defenders
say something? Draymond Green is a Hall of Famer. You said the third best player was Derek Fisher, and you said he's not good, which made Kobe Bryant
Yeah, don't forget Robert Horry. You can D up anybody, too.
You dissed your own supporting cast, and now you're saying...
That's my problem with dissing the supporting cast, by the way. This guy, I'm not agreeing with what he's saying, but that fact, that point right there, I do agree with. That's why you can't diss the entire. You can't say it was just Shaq and Kobe and nobody else, or it was just Kobe and nobody else. It doesn't work, because if you want to do this like greatest team in NBA history, you can't just have 2 good players and everybody else suck and say that's the best team in NBA history.
Matters.
I'm saying from a defensive standpoint, you're asking who's going to guard. They had good perimeter defenders on that 2001 team.
You just dissed the supporting cast, and now you're saying they're the greatest team ever.
In terms of offensive firepower, sure. When you look at the 2001
so how are they the
run,
greatest team?
Because they had the 2 best players in the NBA.
How about
on one
depth
team.
of scoring?
When has that ever happened?
How about depth of scoring?
When has it ever happened that the 2 best players in their primes were on one team at one time?
KD, Kevin Durant.
They were, but
I mean,
so they
KD,
were better
Steph
than
Curry.
LeBron. So they were better.
Pippen,
they were
Michael
both
Jordan,
better.
and Michael Jordan would be the best player on the court. Clearly, even you admit that.
The other player, though, I'm saying the top 2, Shaq and Kobe, were the 2 best players in the world at that time in their primes. Steph and KD were not the best 2 players. LeBron James was
because LeBron wasn't in his prime. Exactly.
Pippen
LeBron would have been the best player back then.
Pippen was not the second best player.
LeBron would have been the best player back then. So what are you talking about? You're not even comparing 2 on 2.
I'm saying in the context that we're talking about, there has never been a time in the league where the 2 best players
you keep saying the same thing over and over again.
Right. But you're not answering it, though. But let me, if I may, just finish your point that you started with. Draymond Green logged a substantial amount of minutes as the big on that team that you're referencing. Draymond Green's height and weight list, 6'6", 230 pounds. That's what he's listed as.
He's one of the greatest. Can I finish my point? He's one of the greatest defenders to ever live, and he initiates offense.
He's
more of a point guard than a big.
He's 6'6", 230.
I'm going to Skap on this, because no matter what, I agree with those statements. Yeah, he is a great defender. He's a great facilitator on offense. He's 6'6", dude. Shaq is going to destroy him. He's going to destroy him. That's like asking Kobe Bryant to guard him. Like, no, dude. It ain't going to work. It's not a fair match.
Whose list weight and height was 7'1", 325.
He's
a half a foot taller and 100 pounds heavier. And that's the answer they have for Shaquille O'Neal. And that's the team you bring to me. Is that Warriors team? Because what? You think that they're going to be able to run around and shoot more threes?
They are.
That 2001 team.
There's the evolution of the game.
That 2001 team had good perimeter defenders, though.
Who?
Kobe Bryant and Rick Fox.
Rick Fox?
Rick Fox was a good perimeter defender.
You know that supporting cast wasn't good. You said it yourself in your own argument, and now you're also saying they're the greatest team. That doesn't mean they can't defend
the three-point shooters.
They were not.
Was going to throw at them.
72-10 Bulls, better. Those
I'm starting to get confused.
Better.
Was Robert Horry not there in 01?
Celtics won 9 out of 11 back then. I would even say Bird, McHale, and Parrish as a trio is better than any trio the Lakers ever had, especially in that era.
Definitely not the 80s Showtime. Are you kidding me?
A better team than that 2001 Lakers team is the 2016 Cavs that came back down.
Oh, no. What a pause. That's exactly what I'm thinking. The 2016 Cavs? Really? You're going to say that's the greatest team of all time? Oh, man, I got to hear this crap. What a... Dude. Man, that would be the thumbnail right here.
So they won the first 2 series in a sweep. Marcus Smart.
It doesn't matter. What was the record? Don't leave me alone.
They sweep. They beat the competition. They destroyed them. Then they
not as bad as the 2001 team did to their competition against better.
Fair. Yeah.
Then Marcus Smart hit a lucky shot. They would have sweeped the Celtics to make it to the next round. Okay. Then they come down against what was the greatest team of all time at the time.
The 96 Bulls?
73-9. The death lineup, and they come back and they win 3-1. And not only that, they won in a myriad of ways, which is one of your favorite words, okay?
I like that word.
They won in a low-scoring game in Game 7. They would win in a high-scoring games. I don't have all the advanced stats, but they could win in
Why is everyone wearing a Space Jam shirt? Not that I mind. I think it's pretty cool, but what is this?
Different types of ways. And the question that you've been asking everyone, who would guard Shaq? There's 2 people who would guard Shaq. One, Kevin Love. Look at what he did against... Look at what he did against Steph Curry. He could also
respond to this.
Look at what he did against Steph Curry. You remember that? Remember the play against Steph Curry? He could also do that
it's
against
completely
Shaq.
different. But no, Kevin Love, great defender. But I don't think he can handle the strength and power of a Shaquille O'Neal. He was limber and quick enough to stick with Steph Curry. Once again, because Kevin Love is a badass. But people forgot who Shaq was. Prime Shaq was eating, just destroying everybody.
And also the Cavs had Delly. There's nobody on the Lakers who could have guarded Delly, all right?
Shaq did that spin move, dunked on someone, put his crotch up in his face, and then pushed him over? That would be against Kevin Love every single time.
Do you remember what
the Warriors were 73-9 in the regular season. Do you know what their record was that year in the playoffs?
They lost 7 games.
No, they lost 8 games. They were 15-8. They were 15. Okay. So they were 73-9 in the regular season, but they were only 15-8 in the playoffs, and they were down 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals and getting obliterated by the Oklahoma City Thunder until Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook threw up all over themselves in Game 6 and let them come back and win. That was a different Warriors team at that time. They were depreciated. Curry was hurt. We had the Draymond Green suspension. Other players on that team, bigs predominantly, got hurt on that Warriors team as well. So yes, they came back and they won a 7-game series with Kyrie Irving cooking as well as LeBron in games 5, 6, and 7. But they didn't beat anybody to get out of the East. So I do not put that Cavs team very highly myself. But interesting point. Kevin Love versus Shaq. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with that. My next claim is that Kobe Bryant is the greatest Laker of all time.
Do we forget Magic Johnson?
I have a hard time with this one because, I don't know, man. I don't know. To me, it's a coin flip between Magic and Kobe. I don't know about you guys, but I've always felt that way. They both, they both deserve that title.
I'm well aware of
the
Magic.
Man who popularized the Lakers. There is no Lakers the way we know the Lakers as they are today without Magic, who was the conductor, the catalyst, the nucleus, all the words you want to use that made Showtime basketball. We're talking 12 years, 9 trips to the finals, 9-time first team All-NBA, 5-time champion, the same amount as Kobe, and Kobe played damn near double the amount of years that Magic did.
Kobe played 13 healthy years. He had season-ending injuries the last 3 years.
You can take off all the years of Kobe's career in hypothetical land you want. The fact of the matter is he was on the Lakers roster. And he did not play those years. That's not a positive. He wasn't on the court. Your job is to be available.
Let me just interject here real quick.
Go for it.
Magic Johnson won every single one. You guys have routinely diminished Kobe Bryant because he played with Shaq. Magic Johnson won every single one of his 5 titles with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who is better than Shaquille O'Neal. He is above Shaquille O'Neal on any listicle or periodical you want to find. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has the greatest basketball resume of all time, and Magic won every single one of his titles with Kareem.
This is a hard debate because both Kareem and Shaq only won 1 championship away from the Lakers. So you can say Kareem only won 1 without Magic. You could also say the same thing. Shaq only won 1 without Kobe. It's a hard one. Who do I have higher on my list? Kareem.
I believe 3 of his 5 came with James Worthy, who is a top 50 player of all time. That was his 3rd option. Kobe Bryant's running around here with Pau Gasol and Lamar Odom and going to 3 straight finals, winning back-to-back against more 50-win teams in that 3-year span than Magic Johnson played in his entire career to get 5 NBA championships. So that amount of supporting cast against those weak opponents other than the guys that he got in the finals, and you're going to try to hold up the fact that he had 5 championships as some kind of a claim against Kobe. The fact that Kobe still got 5 somehow, as many as Magic, is a testament to Kobe.
I can't believe that the last question is not Kobe Bryant is greater than LeBron James. I thought that's what was coming, you guys. I didn't expect to see like Kobe Bryant versus Magic Johnson. I didn't expect that.
One, if only there was an award that takes out your individual contribution to your team. They got a name for it. MVP, right? Magic got 3 of them. Kobe got 1.
All right.
We can agree and disagree at the same time. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is a better player all time than Shaq, right?
Better than Magic.
Was the version of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for at least 4 out of the 5 of Magic's rings? Was that the version we're really talking about? Are we talking about the 6? Are we talking about the guy that
was a league MVP the first year, like the year that you guys want to talk about where Magic won Finals MVP? Kareem was the league MVP that year, and
that's why I said
like
4 out of 5
points per game in the playoffs.
That's why I said 4. Just like you, I like to cherry pick.
Let's go MVP though, because MVP is one of the most glaring claims that I hear against Kobe Bryant. Real quick, there are 6 players in NBA history that have at least 10 top 5 MVP finishes. 6 and only 6. All right, Kareem has the most with 15. LeBron has the second most with 14. Kobe has 11. Bill Russell had 11. Jordan had only 10, and Wilt had 10. Of the 6 names I just listed off, 5 of the 6 guys on that list have a minimum of 4 league MVPs. Kobe Bryant somehow only has 1 because it was a popularity contest and the media voting on it absolutely despised Kobe Bryant. So I'm not talking about
for those of you who don't know, after everything that went down in 2003, I think, all the allegations, all that stuff that went down, I agree with Skap on that part. Kobe should have won more MVPs. And the reason he didn't was because, well, guess who came out of the league or came into the league at the exact same time? LeBron James, the new face of the NBA, the chosen face of the NBA. And Kobe was in some deep shit at that point. So it was easy to just turn your back on him and stain him and just put all that credit towards LeBron James. It sounds silly and it's hard to do in a debate, but it actually did happen. I was alive. I watched it all happen before my eyes. What was going on before those allegations? The conversation was, is Kobe Bryant going to be better than Michael Jordan? Is he going to be the greatest player of all time? That's what the conversation was.
Media bestowed accolades. I'm talking about tangible on-court accomplishments.
What'd you say earlier? It's not what's under the mask. It's who you do. It's what you do. It's the Batman quote. That's what you said. We're not talking about the hypothetical land where he's top 5 and didn't win the MVP. We're talking about the guys who actually
MVPs are just hypotheticals in general. The MVP.
No, those are voted on by the same people that vote for All NBA. So if you're gonna count All NBA,
we don't have to talk about All NBA, but if you want to talk MVP and talk about it, and then we can apply the same standard to the All NBA teams, Kobe Bryant has the second most All NBA selections of all time. He has the second most defensive selections of all time. So I guess Kobe's a slam dunk top 3 player all time then, if we're talking about media bestowed awards.
He's good at 5. We'll take him at 5.
That's cool. I'll take LeBron at 11.
So.
Well,
it
classic Skap. Well.
when you speak of the Showtime Lakers, you think about Magic more than often. I'm actually going to say Kareem is the most important Laker of all time. Reason being because, of course, he has the most accolades, 6 NBA championships, 6 MVPs, and, of course, other than what just happened a couple years ago with LeBron overpassing him in the all-time scoring list, the guy's resume is just impeccable. Like, literally, he is the Lakers. Now, I don't understand why you keep bringing up Kobe so much in terms of he's the greatest Laker because he worked so hard. Like, literally.
He actually didn't say that.
No, but this is what you're bringing up because you're like, oh, he's played against 50-win teams. He's done this. He's done that.
Yeah, that's not saying he worked so hard. That's saying he went against hard competition.
Just because.
Hold on. Let's talk about tangible on-court production then and accomplishments.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because he only has one MVP. He only has one MVP.
That's not a tangible on. We just covered that that's a media bestowed accolade. I'm talking about on-court accomplishments. First of all, and to address Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he did not win all of those accolades in LA. He had a career before that in Milwaukee.
But he still had
won
more.
MVPs.
He still had more.
He won MVPs in Milwaukee. He won one of his 5.
He still had
more
accolades.
Hold on. So he didn't play his whole career.
As far as LA.
So he didn't play.
No. I'm just saying because you've been speaking the whole time.
I want to talk about Kobe's.
No, I'm just saying as far as accolades, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, even though he didn't win all of those
accomplishments on the court, though.
But you just told it. You just
Kobe
brought
Bryant's
it back to
played
accolades.
More games, more minutes, and scored more points than anybody in Lakers history. More than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay, but Kareem's more in points. He has more
points all time. Not in a Lakers uniform.
Okay, but as an overall,
we're not talking about his overall product. We're talking about overall, the best Laker of all time.
I still would take Kareem because even though he didn't win all of his accolades with LA, he still has more accolades in LA than Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant he's the #1 leader in games played, minutes played, points scored, wins total as a Laker. He won 5 NBA championships, and he spent every single second of his NBA career, a 20-year career, in a Lakers jersey. At the time he retired, he spent more time in a Lakers jersey than he did on Earth. And then he carried on afterwards. The way he is beloved and the imagery that he still exists as today throughout Los Angeles, to me, it's not even close. I think it's a slam dunk. The easiest claim to defend of all of them is that Kobe is the greatest Laker of all time.
I disagree because Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he's literally the standard of what a Laker should be. Like, he honored and embodied the entire Laker franchise, and literally with Magic Johnson.
He's an all-time great. He's just not better than Kobe. He's just not a better Laker than Kobe.
We could agree to disagree, but honestly, I don't know what he's talking about.
Now, for me, I'm just gonna take it. I'm gonna listen to the all-time greats on this one. Magic Johnson says Kobe Bryant's the greatest Laker of all time, and Kobe Bryant said Magic Johnson's the greatest Laker of all time. I think they're both right.
I'm gonna approach this from a different perspective.
I think I know where you're going.
I'm gonna go with Magic Johnson.
Oh, okay.
But I'm gonna say for this reason alone, in terms of his impact on the Lakers. Before he got there, the Lakers, what were they most known for? They were kind of a sort of a franchise that was the lovable loser. They were always losing to the Celtics year in, year out, despite having great players in Jerry, Wilt, Elgin Baylor, Gail Goodrich, and then they got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and early on they weren't winning there. When Magic Johnson got there, that is when the winning started. And more than anything, what are the Lakers known for as a franchise? Their royalty. It's about the pageantry. That's what Magic Johnson brought them. He created that winning identity, and he was the star amongst stars in Hollywood. It was a show because of him. That's what the Lakers love to be. They always want to be headlines. They always want to be in the news. Magic Johnson is the man that created that identity. Magic Johnson made the Laker brand.
I would be real. That was a good argument right there. I never thought about it that way, but it's a good argument.
I would say this. We just heard from someone who has Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on his list, who was on that same team. So I would reject the premise that Magic Johnson.
Well, Kareem got there before Magic, obviously, but Kareem was kind of he was doing kind of what Shaq was doing before Kobe arrived. It's so similar, you guys. It's hilarious because Shaq couldn't get out of like the first round without until he got help from Kobe, and then Kareem was struggling his ass off in LA. Until Magic Johnson arrived. But who had more effect on the identity of the team? When I think of Showtime Lakers, I think of run and gun. I don't think of the skyhook and post moves. Yes, Kareem was crucial to this. Absolutely crucial to their success. However, the identity was Magic Johnson's run and gun offense. That's really what it was.
A cumulative response to having a top 3 to 5 all-time player in place. And
that certainly helped. I won't argue that.
Magic Johnson coming in, them again.
They needed each other. Again, nobody wins alone.
Getting James Worthy, a top 50 player, them having a plethora of other elite role players during that time, and an iconic coach as well in Pat Riley, a great 100%. GM, which is where I thought you were going to go with, was Jerry West, was where I thought you were going as the best Laker. To me, the only guy that you could argue with above Kobe, maybe.
Who was the greatest Laker? As far as like the organization, from the bottom as a player to a coach to a GM, etc. Yeah, that one is Jerry West for sure.
Check that premise as well.
Logo.
Kobe Bryant carried, I mean, you could say Magic created the winning. I reject that. I think it was a total, I would say Jerry West, Pat Riley, like even the late, great Dr. Jerry Buss. I think those guys, it was a comprehensive kind of accomplishment by that whole team that did that. It was not simply Magic Johnson, whereas Kobe Bryant, it was just him. By himself, a loner. After Shaq left, that team would have fallen into total
that's also
obscurity.
Not fair because Magic retires. The Lakers are abysmal for a while. Shaq was that new guy who came in for the next generation to give them hope. Because before that, we were, dude, in the 90s, after Magic left, we were all clowning on the Lakers. You know, oh, you got no Magic, you got no Kareem, y'all suck ass now. You know, like we were all clowning on them. And then they got Shaq, and then we went, oh shit, they got a future. And then Kobe Bryant came around, and we got, oh no. And then they got Phil Jackson, and we said, fuck, we are screwed. And guess what? We were screwed. Why do I bring that up? Before all that was Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Pat Riley and the Showtime Lakers. They created the winning identity, and then it was up to the next generation to figure it out. Shaq was actually that first hope because they had no future until they made that trade for Shaq, and then all of a sudden was like, well, all they need is a few good pieces, and the freaking Lakers are going to have a dynasty all over again. I remember because I was pissed off, and I was also stupid for clowning on them because when they were the Nick Van Exel-led Lakers, they had zero success. I love Nick Van Exel, but it is what it is. Oh, man. I can't believe we're at the end of this. We got a minute left.
Kobe Bryant didn't take his talents to some other great player.
But he wanted to. But he wanted to. He requested a trade.
Again, are we talking hypotheticals or what happened? Kobe
That's
Bryant
not hypothetical. He requested a trade.
Okay, where'd he go?
He wanted to go to Chicago.
Where did he go, though?
He didn't get traded.
Oh, but he stayed in L.A. He stemmed the tide with an absolutely abysmal supporting cast, sold the tickets, kept the Laker brand alive, and then after Pau Gasol left, they did it to him again. They brought garbage players around him. He blew his Achilles out. He still carried on the legacy, the mythos of the Lakers, and that legacy and mythos still exists to this day in Los Angeles. He is so cherished and beloved.
How's this about to end?
To me, it's not even close. Kobe Bryant is the greatest Laker of all time. All right, guys, now it's up to you to decide who won this debate. Was it me or was it all of these Kobe haters?
Oh, man. Okay, that last point. The thing is, can't two things be right at the same time? And I'm sorry, you know, call me a fence sitter, call me whatever, but when I see truth right in the middle, I have to point it out because nobody likes to point the shit out anymore. Who lit the fire of winning? Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Pat Riley, that generation lit that fire. When the fire was being put out, who carried that fire on to a next generation? Shaq, Kobe, Phil Jackson. Then eventually, Kobe, Phil Jackson, Pau Gasol. That's how it happened. And now the real question is what the hell has happened in the LeBron era? Because we thought we had it. You know what I mean? Like Laker fans thought you had it, but then it was like it wasn't really a torch passing, like a carrying of the torch. The fire is dead. It's really Luka now. You know, like the LeBron era is just going to be like this weird blip in time because the Lakers franchise are so spoiled. They're used to not just one championship, they're used to multiple championships and creating a dynasty in a certain era of time. They did it in the 80s, they did it in the 2000s, and I fear they might be about to do it again with Luka and Austin Reeves, and yeah, I think they have a good future. LeBron just got to get out of the way because he only won them one, and you win the Lakers one championship in like was it 8 years? I think he's been there. Like that's not good enough. Get the hell out of here, man. You know, so I think both is true. Magic and Kareem and friends set the winning tone. Who continued that when we all thought it was dead in the 90s? Kobe, Shaq, Phil. Like those are the guys who picked it up and continued it. So how can I say one is more important than the other? I can't. And that's why I wish we could have a part 2 of this, man. Because I swear, like the topics were really fun here. But there are some of the topics that are brought up here that I'm like, I don't know. Because, like, you know, no one will ever beat the 81 points. I don't know. Scoring is pretty freaking high nowadays. It might happen, you know? I am just shocked. I am really, really shocked. One of the topics wasn't simple. Kobe Bryant is greater than LeBron James. Prove me wrong. Like, I think Skap would have freaking destroyed these guys in that topic. And guys, I'm just realizing I'm a little drunk right now. I just finished that 4th beer. I can't wait to read the comments. I bet you guys are going to clown on my ass. Anyways, I don't remember what the hell I said in this video, and I still haven't looked at it. I don't know how long this video is. I'm going to have to figure something out about this. I'm going to have to edit it down into multiple videos or whatever, but that's a problem for future mind crime to deal with, not current mind crime. So for me now, guys, wow. Thank you for recommending this one so many times. It's so funny. I thought this was a Skip Bayless video at first. It's ended up way more entertaining. Skap is dude, Skap's brain needs to be studied. How he can remember all these numbers and just like he just accessed that data anytime he wants. His brain needs to be studied. I wish I had that skill that he has. And nothing but love to Skap attack, man. This is a great idea. It's cool to see Skap kind of going a little big time here, you know, and getting out there for real. And I thought this was a phenomenal video. And I gotta get the hell out of here because, man, alcohol's a hell of a drug, y'all. So I gotta get out of here, get some food in my belly or something. So guys, gals, everybody else in between, all of y'all, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the recommendation. I appreciate you all. Please leave your comments down below. We'll have good conversations like we always do in the comments. And if you can do me a big old favor, like this video, hit that hype button if you could. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Well, not exactly like this because I don't make it a habit to drink and record vids, but similar to this. And most importantly, guys, it's the be water, my friends. Peace out, all right?